and heating and air. And JR Sports Bar and Grill, Brett Pritchard and Randy Lee here with you for a couple of hours to start your Saturday morning, and off to a great start here. A lot to talk about, some big football games on today, obviously, that we'll get to a little bit later on, but some big football games. Last night, a lot of teams off on that Friday, last night because of the midweek, because you start a week 0, and some decided to take their off night midway through. It was a non-region week, so from here on out until the last week of the season, they're region games for everybody. So the business at hand will be serious.
Well, and we still had a few games last night that were eye-opening. I'll start with that Central Clay and Jasper game.
Yeah.
That was one where we were out last night, and you couldn't really take your eyes away from the Twitter feed and finding out what the update was. Number 1 versus number 2 in Class 5A. Number 1 having to go on the road to Central Clay last night after a defeat of Central Clay last year to Jasper.
That's right.
Then Central Clay moving on and winning a state championship in Class 5A. And it was back and forth, Brett. It was what you thought. I would have loved to have been there. It was one of those where you may want to go back and check it out on Huddle and see how it played.
It was a statewide broadcast last night, so a lot of people were able to watch it on TV, and double overtime. Did it end up going to 3 overtimes when they won?
Yes.
Jasper won,
Yes.
and winning in 3.
Central Clay goes for 2 points after scoring in that third overtime. Central Clay misses, and Jasper ends up winning the ball game by a point. So it was a great one.
It was a path for Central Clay last year that didn't knock them off from winning a state championship. They lost 3 games there in their first 6 last year. They lost to Benjamin Russell, they lost to Jasper, and then they lost to Mortimer Jordan. So, they were probably sitting there looking at 3-3 going, well, this is not going to be a very special year. Ended up being a pretty doggone special year for Central Clay as they move on and win and defeat Viger in the 5A state championship. But big games all around the state. Again, a lot of teams off last night again because of the outer region schedule and being the midweek or mid-season part of the schedule where you don't have to have a game if you choose to take your off week and if you don't do it at the beginning or the end. But we'll start right here with last night's matchup on the road at Chilton County. Benjamin Russell coming off a win last week against Demopolis, coming back on the road against a very good quarterback in Shaquem Lassiter's, getting a lot of looks, getting some looks from some SEC schools. Right out of the gate, he's able to bust a big run. And they punch it in 4 plays and go up 7-0. And then we answer with a 14 or 15 play drive, come back and score. And then we took over from that point on, and we put 55 points on the board. And I think we've scored 72 points in the last 6 quarters. Elijah Spivey, the junior, came in. Man, I thought he was phenomenal. He did it with his legs. He wasn't able to throw a lot last night because it wasn't in the game plan. But you can tell he can throw it pretty much wherever he wants to. But the story were our lines of scrimmage, offensive and defensive, controlling the ball. This is a pretty good Chilton County team if you look at their scores. And they were 3-2 coming into the game. Real close loss to Sylacauga by a point. So I was expecting on the road a tough matchup, but we really just took control of the game.
Well, you kind of felt it on that opening drive offensively that if we run downhill, north-south, they're probably not going to stop us. And this is a big offensive line for Benjamin Russell. Over the years, we've had some very good football teams. Our broadcast partner on Friday night was part of a team that really threw 3 or 4 out of 5 starters on the offensive front out there that weighed 220, 225, 5'10", 5'11 types. Danny Horn coached and just got after you and won a ton of football games. This one's a big line all the way across. They've got 300-pound guys. You've got the rest of them 250, 270.
That's right.
This is just not a small line no matter which classification you're in. And in Alexander City and other communities out there, that's not what you always get.
No,
but we happen to have it right now. And they seem to be playing a lot better. And you can just sense that they are enjoying, embracing who I think we always have been. And that's physical, tough, hard-nosed, great running backs. I can't remember very often that we haven't had a really good running back here.
Seems
at
like
school.
every year we have one.
And we got a great one right now. Zay Hunter, if you give him a little hole, give him a little time, he'll pick you apart. And he did it last night. And then y'all got a sophomore running back that you've been talking about since I think he was 8 years old, DeMarcus McNeil. And DeMarcus really played well last night. I think he'll just continue to get the ball more and more as the season moves on. And he gives a little bit of a different dimension than what you see from Zay when he's out there. But Elijah Spivey, he's an athlete. He makes things look easy, and I don't think he only does that in football. I think he does the same in baseball. He got pretty good genes too, so I get where it's coming from.
Yeah, no doubt. I want to give credit to a lot of the coaching staff last night. You talked to them when we pulled up at the high school. Marte, running backs coach, offensive coordinator. You liked his rotation of running backs.
I did.
How he does with that. Coach Campbell, he told all of us at the 12th man, or Coach Smith told us at the 12th man that Coach Campbell felt like by the end of the year this would be our best unit on the field. They're getting there. You're seeing the progress every week. We're playing our best football right now. I know a couple weeks ago was a low point for everybody, but we're playing our best football going into the toughest stretch of the schedule. Coach Fasell, I can't say enough about him. I know outside of one half of football at Central Clay, they've played pretty doggone good, and they played good enough to win them all. So he likes to put pressure on the quarterback. I like that. You're going to give up a play here and there. They gave up one last night. But if you can get some offense and generate some offense, they're going to put pressure on the other team all night long, and sets up to be a pretty big game next week on the road.
Yeah, I know that it sounds like when you listen to our broadcast that I say the same things over and over again. It's because I do. It's because the coaching that I had coming through school said the same things over and over, and that's Coach Martin, Coach Brooks, defensive crew. Coach Sav was the head coach. But what they would always preach was not losing containment outside, and when you play an option quarterback, hit him in the mouth every single play. And there was always one player that was designated, and Coach Martin, in his own way of delivering that, would make sure that you were going to have fun that night, hitting him in the mouth on every single play. And people would embrace that. Players would embrace that, because I don't want to say that it does. It dummies the game down. It makes it a very simple process. You're going to show option, I'm going to hit you. And I'm going to Coach Fasell with this. We made a poor decision there on that opening drive and let a very good athlete get in the open field, and we never did it again.
That's right.
And we started hitting him every time he came down the line of scrimmage. He got hit in the mouth. And I always go back, and I'm always thinking outside leverage or run to the football or hit him in the mouth, and that's what we did last night. So I was proud of the change-up that we did there, and I do think he does a tremendous job. I think he's a good communicator, which I don't know how in the world you can coach and not be a great communicator.
And he is.
I think he does a good job with that.
You're right. You say that all the time, and you look at coaches and you look at anybody in that business, and you don't have to be one that's just overly loud and boisterous, but he's got a lot of energy. He's up and down that sideline. He's running around. He's getting in people's faces. He's letting them know when they do a good job, and he's letting them know when they make a mistake. But again, we'll close out this segment talking about the Wildcats. They moved to play Opelika next week, back in region play. The only bad thing about this season so far, we've let two get away from us. We've let Stanhope get away a close loss at home, and then Selma. We just didn't play good at all, period. Gave up 28 points, didn't score, didn't move the ball. So you're 0-2 in the region. So you got work to do coming down the stretch, and you've got Opelika, Wetumpka back-to-back on a short week, because you'll turn around and play Wetumpka on a Thursday night, and then you got Calera left. So you got to win two of them to give yourself a chance to get in a tiebreaker.
Well, I tip my hat to Coach Smith, because we set up a new offense, and we throw the football around a lot here in the early going, but we changed it, and we've gone back to something that he's been used to for 23 years, and that's good old hard-nosed football. And I say all of that meaning you're going to go play Opelika, and if you look at their scores, you better be able to score, because they're going to. And in the years where we've struggled with them, it's been because we absolutely can't move the ball at all, Brett. and we can't put any points up. I do think we're versatile enough to be able, if we can't run it directly at them, move around, get a quarterback in space. Elijah can really run the football if he's given an opportunity, I believe, depending on which quarterback or which way we go with this. But, I do tip my hat because you do want to stay steadfast on a new process. But after a while, I want to win. And anybody that's a part of the program, and I promise you, he wants to win a whole lot more than I do because he's out there practicing. So to be able to go back to what we're comfortable with and to put up the points that we put up the last 6 quarters, very good. Something we can build on.
And you've seen the team embrace it.
Yeah.
Seen the team embrace the physical nature. And look, it's who we are. And I think you're right. Sometimes you think that you might not have the personnel to do some things you've done in the past, so you feel like you've got to change it up. I think they figured out they got the personnel to line up and just go at whoever it is on the field. Doesn't matter if it's Opelika, don't matter if it's Stanhope, don't matter if it's Prattville, whoever it might be. You can line up and play man to man on that. So up against our first break, stay tuned. More of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace. Smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
The same professionals you've trusted with your urgent care is now your primary health provider, Main Street Family Care. We provide annual physical exams as well as monitoring health conditions such as high blood pressure, diabetes, asthma, and more. All major insurances accepted, Medicaid, Medicare, and have self-pay options to accommodate everyone. See us in Alex City, just across from Walmart. Your care is our primary concern.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
Hi, I'm Kurt Bowman, General Manager of Vaden Toyota, and we'd like to announce our new lifetime warranty on any new Toyota.
Hashtag lifetime warranty.
Hashtag we love our customers.
It can be used nationwide at no additional cost.
Hashtag customer service.
So come on by and let us show you
The Vaden way.
Hashtag maintenance matters.
Hashtag totally awesome.
Vaden Toyota of Sylacauga, just a short drive from home or online.
Hashtag your neighborhood dealership.
If you're seeing the American cockroach, throw up the red flag. Ladybugs, throw up the red flag. Ants and swarming termites, throw up the red flag. And kudzu bugs, throw up the red flag. That's Red Flag Pest Control. So the caution is on. Call Red Flag Pest Control today.
I'm Scott Davis with Red Flag Pest Control. Call me today, 256-825-0430.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kia of Auburn. Kia of Auburn on South College. Kia's at 0% financing and no payments for 90 days. Kia of Auburn. Kia of Auburn. Kia of Auburn.com.
This is Coach Pat Dye. At Kia of Auburn, you are always number one.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee with you till 9 o'clock. We're glad that you joined us this morning, recapping last night's game against Chilton County on the road. Wildcats win. Randy, we'll shift over now. We'll take your calls, your comments on Facebook. We've already got some coming in, so we'll get to those. And but we'll go around the state, talk about games, and if you want to comment on last night's game or any other game that you might have gone to, that Clay County, the Central Clay and Jasper game, probably the best game in the state last night from what we were able to hear and see on Twitter last night. I know it was the statewide game of the week, so a lot of people were able to sit at home and watch that one on TV around the state. So we'll start with some scores.
Yeah, 256-234-6221 is our phone number, and if you're just now finding us, we appreciate it throughout the state. Charter Channel 21, 187 over in Auburn Market, 190 up in northern Alabama, and all of our social media outlets. And as Brett said, we communicate back and forth with you there, not only throughout the show, but if you have questions, we'll bring it up on our next program as well. Big win for Auburn last night, 49-20 over Minor. Baker 14-6 over Jackson. It's Bob Jones 30-28 over Hillcrest Tuscaloosa. Central Phoenix City 31-7 over Park Crossing. Phoenix City just not having a lot of close games.
Well, they're a nationally ranked team, and they're a nationally ranked team for a reason. They are loaded, and I know Hoover beat them in that first game of the season, but I'm just going to tell you, man, that if Hoover and Phoenix City were to play 100 times, there is no doubt in my mind that Phoenix City probably win 98 of them, and that's how good they are. Because Hoover's a good football team. Don't get me wrong. But Phoenix City has got, and there were some people at that Hoover. We had Caleb down there calling the game, but had some other people tell us about that game. Phoenix City's athletes and their numbers they made Hoover look tiny. They made them look small and unmatched. Hoover was able to jump out to an early lead and hang on, Phoenix City was able to jump out to an early lead and just kind of fell apart. But that team has got so many athletes over there, and they lost a bunch last year too. They're starting quarterbacks at LSU now from last year.
Yeah, just a good part of the state right now. And, I think Hoover, for the most part, made everybody up their game. Everyone either had to decide that they were going to do and work as hard as they do, or they're just going to get run by. And for a long time, it was Prattville was the only one that really, Daphne had their run, but Prattville was the only one that could consistently put a product out there that could compete with them. Well, look, Dubose was highly involved in those Prattville programs, moved on to Florence for a short period of time, really had a great program there, and now he's at Phoenix City. And we've just got a few coaches in the state, two of those being right there, that could coach college ball if they made a decision to. They both communicate so well.
Just like high school.
And we're glad to have them because it just makes high school football in this state so much better. Hewitt-Trussville takes down Huffman last night, 34-21. It's Fairhope over Daphne. Fairhope coming back from being down a majority of that football game, and they win 38-35. Jeff Davis 17, Sidney Lanier 13. Lee Montgomery over Carver 49-13. Mary Montgomery over Citronelle 28-20. It's Oak Mountain over Pelham 21-7. Prattville 31. Wetumpka 13. Good win for Prattville.
Yeah, Caleb Ross is back home, and he went down south for a little while and moved over to Opelika, coached for 1 year there, and the Prattville job came open, and he went back home. So he's turning that program back around. Prattville, hit a snide a couple years ago, and let's just be honest. I think they won one football game, and everybody was like, Prattville won one football game. Caleb Ross, they're not back yet, but they're getting close, and they've got the facilities, the practice facilities, and he's got that kind of demeanor to go out and get kids out that weren't playing football previously.
Big win for Vestavia last night over Shades Valley. Not sure this score is perfect, but we'll throw it out there, 27-0. Sparkman 38, Buckhorn 0. Moving down to Class 6A last night, Albertville over Boaz 14-13. Athens 42, East Limestone 21. Benjamin Russell, if you're just now tuning in, 55-7 over Chilton County last night. Bessemer City 31, Winona 0. Good win for Bessemer City.
Yeah.
They put great athletes out there. Andrew Zhao now the coach.
Yep.
Watch out. See what he can do with that program.
Yeah, I think he's in a position now he can do something. Not to say that he didn't have players where he was, but now I think he's in a position to where he can showcase some things, and he's got some depth they usually have a lot of good players that come out for football up there in Bessemer City. So he's in a good area. I think you'll see that program just continue to go on the rise.
Brookwood 22, Oak Grove 12. Big win for Dothan last night over Enterprise, 47-9. That was a little eye-opening, the differential in score.
Yeah, it's been kind of a roller coaster for Dothan so far.
But they've given up a lot of points, but scored a lot in every game.
They're a new program, combining Dothan High School and Northview. Smitty Grider, somebody that you and I know both pretty well, and know that he's had success everywhere at Beauregard and then at Parks Crossing in Montgomery, and then moves down, takes that job in an area that really just has not been known for a lot of good football. Spurts, but not consistently. They'll be a 7A team next year with their combination, with him installing his philosophy and his mindset and getting those players out. Dothan will be a program to be dealt with in 7A.
Eufaula just scores tons of points every Friday night.
They do.
They did it last night, Brett. 55-21 over Alma Bryant. Gardendale 35-7 over Hazel Green. Gardendale's the real deal this year.
The Rockets, they're good. I mean, they've got a good program, and Gardendale's another one of those programs. You talk about communities riding a roller coaster.
Yeah, they're a lot like us.
Gardendale, I remember over the years, we'd face them in the playoffs some and play them, and some years you look down and they're not having a good year at all. I mean, like a 3-7 record. Some years are 9-1. Just you get what you get coming through communities sometimes, and so Gardendale, they're a good football team right now.
Helena 61-10 over Southside Gadsden. It's Hueytown 33-16 over Coleman. Jackson Olin gets off the snide, beats Jeff Davis of Mississippi 41-29. McAdory playing really good football the last 3 or 4 weeks, consistent winning. They take down Greensboro 40-8. Muscle Shoals, one of the top teams in Class 6A, had a close matchup, close proximity to Florence. They defeat Florence 29-10 last night.
Yeah, Muscle Shoals is going to be a threat in the top part of the bracket in the playoffs.
Closing out Class 6A, Paul Bryan over Mae Jemison 24-21. Russell County over Barber County 70-0. Saraland defeats LaFleur 63-12. Selma over Linden 46-20. And another good win for Stanhope last night, defeating Smith Station 20-17.
Stanhope, they got a good defense, moved up a classification there, play a 7A team. I think the Benjamin Russell game kind of got them off the mat. They've had 2 really good games since then, and their team that you saw last year, they got better and better as the year went on. So it's going to be fun to see how they end up. Up against our next break, stay tuned. More of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
Listen up, America. Millions of Americans just like you owe the IRS more than $10,000 and are facing liens, bank levies, wage garnishments, penalty abatements, and other IRS enforcement actions. Newly authorized debt forgiveness programs allow you to settle your debts for less than ever before. Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? If so, then call Tax Savings Helpline now.
Please call 800-980-7190.
So, you may not know it, but you've seen our work everywhere. For a combined 50 years, SignSource has been Central Alabama's premier option for all your sign needs. Custom signs for your business, club, or organization. Wraps and decals for your vehicle or boat. Full-color banners for your big sale, or a photo collage on canvas for grandma. All with fast, friendly, prompt service. Check out our website at signsourcenow.com. 888-533-6758. Go straight to the source. SignSource.
What's behind the CA?
A world full of opportunities.
Where are you now? Where are you going?
Where do you want to be?
These are all important in determining your path in life.
More importantly, why be ordinary
when you can be extraordinary?
At Central Alabama Community College, you can be anything you wish to be.
Don't put your future on hold and don't settle for less than excellence.
We are Central Alabama Community College.
Central to you.
Central to your success.
Cater your tailgate and game day parties with Chicken Salad Chick. All the Chick favorites like Buffalo Barkley, Kick and Kaylin, and Sassy Scotty make the perfect dips and sandwich platters. Chicken Salad Chick is always a great choice when planning for a crowd. Our grab-and-go quick chicks make it easy. And now for a limited time, Rockin' Rita is back. Made with Wickles spicy red relish, this flavor has a kick of spice. Chicken Salad Chick and fall football, the perfect matchup.
Skag, the toughest name in lawnmowers. Unmatched quality and performance for over 3 decades. The clear choice, the best mower money can buy for work or at home. Top lawn care professionals and discerning homeowners know that Skag means productivity and reliability. Every Skag mower is proudly built right here in the USA. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best. Skag.
Satterfield Outdoor Living on Highway 280 in Alex City.
Morris & Haynes Law Firm in Alexander City are proud members of our community. Our team of dedicated employees live, work, and support in our local communities, and we are all actively engaged in our hometowns. Just like all area players, parents, and coaches, we are committed to the betterment of our local area and want to wish all of our area teams the best of luck this fall. The Morris & Haynes Law Firm in Alexander City, a proud supporter of all area athletics.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown here. Halfway through the first hour, we're glad that you joined us out there, wherever it is that you might be watching or listening. A lot of outlets out there. You can call us on this show, 256-234-6221. Obviously, you can communicate and contribute on Facebook if you're out there. We know a lot of you choose that method, and we appreciate that. It makes the show what it is. High school football, hard to believe we're 6 games in, man. I don't know. You blink, the season just goes by extremely fast. And if you look at it from that standpoint, you're really 9 weeks away from the Super 7. And we want to add it up like that. You got five rounds of the playoffs and then 4 weeks left in the season. It's a quit with maybe an off week built in there. So 9, at most 10 weeks away from state championships. And I can't grasp any kind of championship in this weather. I mean, it's October basically. It's 96 or 97 degrees. And I don't think we talk about that enough, man. These kids have played half of a season in just sweltering heat. And I'll tip our hat to Benjamin Russell real quick. We see other teams that cramp up on Friday night. Have you seen any of our guys cramp all year?
I don't think we had one for either team last night.
For either team, and it was
hot.
It was as humid as
I thought I was going to cramp in the press box just watching the game.
I'm telling you, I mean,
that hot.
That's not a joke, and I don't think enough goes to the training staffs in some of these schools that are fortunate enough to have a Deborah, and I'll give Deborah Arnold all the credit in the world because she stays on these players. She stays with the coaches and she monitors their weight. And if they don't make weight, they don't practice. And I mean, I watch it, I witness it, and I see what they do. And it's important to be hydrated. And you don't hydrate, the night before a football game. It's a process that takes all week. And if you don't do it the right way, you're going to cramp up or you're going to be susceptible to injury. And so these training staffs are staying on top of things and having to practice 3 hours a day in this kind of heat and then go out there and play on Fridays, I tip my hat to all of them.
And that's what's so much different over the last 20 plus years here in this state is a majority of the programs here in the state, especially your very competitive programs, all have a training staff.
They do.
That wasn't the case.
No.
You had a random assistant that got
some coach got
congratulations, you get to put the tape on. And a lot of times it maybe even was the head coach that was diagnosing whether to send you to the hospital or not when you had an injury. And that's not a long time ago, but it's changed drastically, and it's for the good because you need to be held accountable, and you need to be held accountable to your weight and the things that 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old kid may know what to do, but doesn't mean they do it.
And this concussion protocol by the state was great because It's no secret football was catching a lot of scrutiny especially with the NFL and all the lawsuits and everything. You look at it now, if somebody is even thought to have a concussion, they're out of the game, then they have to go through the protocol the next week. And if they don't pass the test, they don't play. And you and I have witnessed a lot of things over the years, and I witnessed a game at a state championship game at Jordan-Hare a few years ago, and I'm not going to name the game or the teams or whatever, but the kid clearly got knocked out temporarily, okay? Went out for a play and then went back in. And he played the rest of the game. And that team won because he was the quarterback, but he went down, and I'll never forget, on an extra point, he was the holder. He could not balance himself on one knee and fell over. Totally fell over, and then ended up having to put both knees on the ground so he could catch the football. That's dangerous stuff. And you can't play with, somebody's life for a football game, and I think it's good that awareness has been made and you pay attention to that kind of stuff.
Well, that's a part of it that also it takes a training staff and sometimes not a coaching staff making those decisions, because a coach is paying attention to a lot of other things, and a training staff's kind of into that and into that alone.
That's right.
And they hold them accountable to a kid's hurt and a kid wants to go play. A kid may think we don't know what a concussion is for the most part if you've never had one. I'm sure I had one, but I don't ever remember having one, because I don't know exactly what one feels like. I never went out. I never blacked out. I did witness our good friend Greg Vinson talk complete gibberish for about an hour one night over on the sideline.
Yeah.
There was no training staff. He just hung out on the sideline and talked about birds and stuff. I'm not kidding. It was amazing to see. I wish if we were talking to him right now, well, because he's fine.
That's right.
But he got knocked out against Fayette County, excuse me, and he talked straight gibberish for over an hour, and he just hung out on the sideline with us, and it bothered me a little bit.
Well, I mean, it's kind of unnerving because you see somebody out of their element. Last night on a college football game, it was Navy and Memphis, I believe, and one of the players took a shot down there around the goal line, and he was still jumping around and all into it, and they were like, no, come on off the field. And they took his helmet away from him, and he got mad. I'm talking about got real mad.
Of course he did.
But it goes back to what you said. They don't know. A player in the moment don't know. But they had enough about them on the sideline and the training staff say, he needs to come out. We need to do a test.
Well, I'll give you another sport that has really made some good changes, pitching in baseball.
That's right.
You just murder your arm. And now you got a pitch count. And the pitch counts, I mean, if we did pitch counts 20 plus years ago, you didn't pay a lot of attention to it. And you'd run that thing up there pretty bad at times. And then you'd be hard-headed enough to just tell a coach if I'm fine, I'm good. And when you're really not. I mean, you're popping ibuprofen, as many of them as you can throw in your mouth, just have gotten out there on the field. And then you're popping them throughout the game. And I mean, maybe this is not good to say, but this is reality for a lot of people I grew up with, just to be able to deal with what they dealt with. And then you'd end up with 130, 140 pitches. It was crazy, and it was a different time. Look at Major League Baseball. You didn't have that many guys finish games just because they kept their pitch count around 9.
Oh, no.
No, they'd finish baseball games probably throwing between 130 and 150 pitches.
Because the stat line of a complete game was huge.
That was a big story.
But now you hardly see any pitchers go complete games, and it's a story now if they do go a complete game. And you know what changed the pitching rules? Chronic arm injuries.
Yes.
And Dr. Andrews coming out saying, if y'all don't change something, this thing's just going to get worse and worse and worse. And so, look, you live and learn. You figure things out. You know that there's limits to what you can do. And I applaud all of these medical staffs in making these athletes the safest they can possibly be.
A couple of quick scores before we close out on this segment. In Class 5A, one of interest out there again, Jasper defeating Central Clay 35-34. They've got that in double overtime. I think it may have gone 3 overtimes.
I think
wrong.
they ended up winning it in triple overtime.
Yeah, 35-34. Central Clay goes for 2 to win the football game and doesn't get it. So congratulations to Jasper as they win there in that one. Moving down into Class I did see that Elmore County defeats Dadeville 28-21 last night. Reeltown here in our local market. Huge victory over number 1 in Class 1A?
Number 2.
Number 2 in Class 1A, Maplesville. So Reeltown defeats Maplesville 33-21.
And it was 33-8.
Yeah.
So it was
good win by Reeltown.
Yeah, I mean, just a good football team all the way around. Up against our next break, we'll have maybe a little bit more high school coming your way, but we'll shift gears, talk some college, some big announcements last night. For a lot of you, I know we're in the middle of football season, but we'll talk a little basketball on this show today for sure. Stay tuned. More of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
The Prestige Selection at Gill's Auto Sales in Opelika has the largest selection of prestige cars, trucks, and SUVs in Central and East Alabama, all with financing available, little to no money down, and extended warranties. Get pre-qualified in under 2 minutes, online or from your mobile device at GillsPrestigeOnline.com. It's the Prestige Selection at Gill's Auto Sales, 1430 Gateway Drive in Opelika.
Boaters in the Lake Martin area know whether you need service, maintenance, repairs, a great selection of pre-owned boats, or a brand new pontoon. Alex City Marine at the corner of 63 and 280 is there for you. Thanks to a record-setting sales year, Alex City Marine now has one of the finest pre-owned inventories they've ever had. Repairs, service, routine maintenance, for all your boating needs. See the pros the locals know. Alex City Marine at the corner of 63 and 280. Check them out online at alexcitymarine.com.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life. The days are long, but the nights are hot at Copper's Grill at Stillwater's with local live entertainment Friday and Saturday night and a surprisingly delicious weekend special from the head chef that'll make you come back for more. Come by boat or by land to Copper's Grill at Stillwater's. Casual dining at its best.
A&M Plumbing, A&M Plumbing, service at its best when you need it most.
From the smallest drippy faucet to drain cleaning to water heater replacement to gas lines to total systems replacement, A&M Plumbing handles it all. Visit amplumbing.net today for the experienced, licensed, and insured pros at A&M Plumbing.
A&M Plumbing, A&M Plumbing, service at its best when you need it most.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice. Bice Motors.
Had somebody yesterday on the Auburn Blitz comment say, are we having more Friday college football games now? There's always been Friday games, maybe one. There are more now, and they're not just some scrub game. I mean, I know Maryland's not great, but Maryland's not a terrible team. They've been putting a lot of points on the board. So they played a Penn State team on a Friday. Arizona State and Cal played last night. That's the number 12 team and the number 15 team in the country playing on a Friday night. So you might be seeing a little bit more, and that's another day for college football to get some exposure. And I know we're obsessed with high school here in Alabama and in Texas and in Florida and a lot of these states, but Friday night's a night for people to do a lot of different things. A lot of people go out on the town on Fridays and go out to eat, or maybe go to a movie, or go hang out at a club or do something. But Now you're getting college football in the mix and not just some throwaway game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like it at all.
I don't like it either.
I mean, it actually disgusts me because you are taking a product that is fed by high school sports.
That's right.
And you're diminishing down that product that feeds you.
I think it hurts.
Like it
I just think it hurts the college ratings. I think the games that get put on Friday are probably the least watched. I know that I haven't ever watched a Friday game unless I get home like we did last night and Cal and Arizona State's on the TV. So I hope Auburn or Alabama never play on a Friday. And I don't think they ever will. I don't think you'll ever see those two programs. Now, Thursday night's a little different. Thursday night started 25, 30 years ago, and it was kind of a prime time game. If you got that, it was kind of a cool deal to get a Thursday night game here and there. But
no, I don't mind that at all.
Yeah, that's not
because
bad.
that's not the key time, the the designated time for high school football in this country. It's always been on Friday night. I mean, if you change a game to Thursday and you match up with a great college game, it's your own fault. You're the one that made the decision to put that game on Thursday night instead of playing it on the normal time. And I know that people have fall festivals and other things that pop up, but Friday night's high school football and college football just
it don't belong.
They don't care.
It don't. Well, it's the money thing.
Take
again.
the money, take the ratings.
Well, that's where we go when we had
100 games on the TV.
And that's the thing. You just remember back in the day, another thing that made the Thursday game prominent because every game didn't get put on TV.
True.
So if you got that game on Thursday night, you had the whole stage to yourself. So we'll shift over and talk college now, and we'll start with basketball. I've got to start here with a massive announcement from Sharif Cooper last night as that news broke during the middle of our football game, and everybody was talking about it, and the buzz was Sharif Cooper finally making his decision. It was kind of known, sort of, I guess, maybe, through all the recruiting services. They felt confident that he would end up going to Auburn. But, Randy, you don't ever know, not in this world, until somebody decides and they make it public. And Sharif Cooper did last night in front of the entire Auburn basketball team.
Top recruit in Auburn history to commit. Number 18 overall recruit in the country. Player of the year in high school basketball last year by just about every service that you have out there. As a junior, averaged 29 points per game, 9 rebounds, 8 assists per game. He's dynamic on the offensive end. I hope he brings a few more with him, but it's an alternate universe. I can't imagine, I can't say 2 words any more clearly than that. To do what Bruce Pearl's doing at a program like Auburn that is the cellar dweller in the SEC, the worst basketball program historically in the SEC, and I'm an Auburn fan and I have no problem saying it because we have put some of the worst products out there known to man, and Bruce Pearl has changed that in a short period of time, and he's also changed it with no real prospects or no players on the team that look like this when it comes to recruiting. Now, he has now recruited 8 of the top 10 recruits in Auburn history. I didn't realize that, but 8 of the top 10 recruits in Auburn history have been made by Bruce Pearl now.
And you're not real shocked by that, are you?
I'm not shocked to hear it, but when you look down at the listing, I still can't get over that graphic last year when we were playing Duke in Maui. So they're showing Duke's ratings, where their kids were in high school, where they're currently rated as far as NBA draft projections last year. And then I look over at Auburn, and I think our top one was like the 70th overall recruit in the country that came into Auburn. They had 3 of the top 5.
And that's what we were competing with.
And that was the competition and got over the hump. And a lot of opportunities where we were matched up like that got over the hump. Look at North Carolina game where we easily win that thing and run away with it. Look at Kansas, easily win it and run away with it. It's amazing, Brett. I don't know what else to say, and hopefully whatever happens with this NCAA allegations, the FBI, it looks like they're about to come down hard on Kansas.
It does.
Unless there's just a lot of smoke and the fire's not quite as hot as we expect, this Kansas one maybe opens up your eyes to what's going to happen at some other programs.
And it looks like, the program as a whole and their concern with some of the assistant coaches, but they're going after Bill Self on this.
Yeah.
I mean, you can feel and see in some of the language that they've written that they're just not going to put up with it anymore. And if you're going to play this way, then you're not going to play under their umbrella. So we'll see how it all plays out. It's going to be an earthquake effect. This isn't going to just hit one program. This thing's going to have a ripple effect through college basketball. I don't know how long it'll take. This thing's been going on for 2 years now. This thing may go on for another 3. You don't know, because after Kansas, who's next? And will it be a bigger group at one time? Are they trying to set a precedence with Kansas to make people back off? We did hear through some beat writers and some insiders about Auburn that they feel like they're going after these teams that are paying players more than having incidents like Auburn had with Chuck Person with a rogue assistant coach that was going out there doing something for personal gain. Still doesn't make it right. Still means that you'll probably get something out of it. But I think the harsher penalties are going to be focused on these teams that are blatantly going out and paying people and tied in with these shoe companies, which we all know has made this thing a black market underneath on the backside of things, and not pretty at all. So I think it's going to be one of those situations where Adidas and Nike and all these programs that are tied in with these bigger schools, you're going to see that stuff crumble.
Well, the verbiage also has a little scary part to it. If you read what the NCAA put out on Kansas, and that's that if you're a head coach, you can't sit behind negligence.
No.
You can't go, well, I didn't know it was going on.
That's
No,
right.
you were over that program. And if you didn't know it was going on, it was your job to know what was going on. And that part of it reads scary. And I think it's the reason that the administration at Auburn, maybe the coaching staff, still in a sit back and wait standpoint because of what that reads. And, when Alan Green spoke, and we were able to hear him about 2 months ago, it didn't sound rosy to me. I didn't leave out of there going, gosh, we feel pretty good about what we're going to get down the line. I still think it's like, who knows? Nobody knows what's about to happen.
Because nobody knows what the NCAA is going to do.
But last night points to positive moving forward. When you get one of the top recruits in the country to commit to you, then he at least has to feel like there aren't major allegations that are about to come down the pipe where you're going to end up in a situation where you don't get to play in the postseason or something as bad as that. And I can't talk about how big a guy like this on the national scene can mean for you in recruiting, not only this year but in the years to come. Because in basketball, you want dudes to come with you. And you know dudes.
And they're talking and they're communicating.
So this may even be more important, and we've seen it at Kentucky where they really work it together and make sure that 3 or 4 of the best ones in the country go with one another. 2 out of the state of Alabama several years ago that decided to go with one another with DeMarcus Cousins and Eric Bledsoe. Maybe we can get 1 or 2 more that are like this. And I don't know what in the world to say if Bruce Pearl has that type of talent out there in the system that he has.
We'll talk about a couple more guys that possibly might be making some commitments to some teams here in the state. Stay tuned. More of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
The same professionals you've trusted with your urgent care is now your primary health provider, Main Street Family Care. We provide annual physical exams as well as monitoring health conditions such as high blood pressure, diabetes, asthma, and more. All major insurances accepted, Medicaid, Medicare, and have self-pay options to accommodate everyone. See us in Alex City, just across from Walmart. Your care is our primary concern.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kia of Auburn. Kia of Auburn on South College. mileage. Kia is at 0% financing and no payments for 90 days.
Kia! All Auburn! Kia! All Auburn! Kia! AllAuburn.com.
This is Coach Pat Dye. Kia of Auburn, you are always number one.
Expect it or not, the loss of a loved one is difficult. Put your family first by planning ahead. This is Joseph Dean, new owner of Alabama Funeral Homes and Cremation Centers. We are a full-service funeral home with an on-site crematory and cemetery. Whether your need is immediate or you would like to plan in advance, our experienced, compassionate staff can assist you in designing an enduring memorial experience, burial, or cremation. Alabama Funeral Homes and Cremation Centers on Highway 280 in Camp Hill or online, alabamafuneralhomes.com.
I'm Jimmy Goree with Goree's Furniture. We would like to invite you to come shop our huge selection of furniture. But if you don't have time, we have over 2,000 items you can have shipped directly to your home. Go to GoreesFurniture.com, look for 48-hour quick ship. Shop, click, ship, it's just that easy. You can shop us here, or you can shop us online, only at Goree's Furniture.
Your expressway to saving.
Atlanta's hottest music event is here. ATL Live at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Friday, November 15th. Don't miss Keith Urban, Blake Shelton, Sam Hunt, Sugarland, Judah the Lion, and Kale Dove. Tickets at Ticketmaster.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. Almost done with hour number one. Glad that you joined us. We'll close out this hour again, finishing up. I know, check yourself, talking a little bit about basketball. We'll have college football the entire second hour, or anybody that wants to comment or call in, we'll take any of that on any subject you want to talk about. But Sharif Cooper commits to Auburn last night. The USA Today, now there's all types of rankings out there, and the ranking you saw on 24/7 is the one that we pretty much look at. It's got Sharif Cooper like number 18 player in the country. But USA Today comes out with a new listing of, they call it the top 25 boys basketball players updated for 2020. And they've got Cunningham listed at number 1, Cade Cunningham. They got Sharif Cooper at 2, and they've got Green at number 3. And if you look at that, Jalen Green's with Sharif Cooper in Auburn this weekend. So, I mean, obviously he didn't feel pressure to have to commit either, and he may not end up even coming to Auburn, but you got to like that he's around that environment if you're an Auburn fan, and he's, according to this, the number 3 player updated in the country. If you were able to get both of those guys, man, I mean, it's already a coup right now getting Sharif Cooper. But if you get Jalen Green to come with him, I mean, like you said, we made it to a Final Four with not a player on our roster in the atmosphere or the stratosphere of these two.
Yeah, it could be, it's already program changing what's happened over the last couple of seasons, but it could make a drastic difference if you land 2 or 3 of these guys, and maybe 1 or 2 of them end up staying around your program for more than a year. Brett, it's about to be a good time here in the state when it comes to basketball. And this is just my judgment on what I'm seeing coming out of Tuscaloosa also. But the way they're practicing, the hard-nosed style that I think their new coach brings to that program.
That's right.
I don't sense that this guy is going to be quiet. I think he's going to compete, and I think he's going to attack, and I think he's going to fight. And we already know Bruce Pearl has that in him. Doesn't mean you don't respect one another, but it sure is fun when your two rivals get after one another and try to compete and try to get to one of the top programs in the country. And I think Auburn's success will make you look at Auburn football. Auburn football didn't play for a national championship since '57. Here comes Nick Saban, and he owns the state of Alabama and pretty much owns Auburn for the most part. But we've been able to get over the hump a couple of times, more than we did in the years before. And I think that a lot of that is due to looking across the state and going, man, I'm not going to let them get too far away from me. They
Yeah.
may get a little away from me, but I'm not going to let them get too far away from me. And so don't you sense that with Alabama, that they've got a guy that'll at least put a competitive spirit out there? Because the last two guys they've had have been a little bit more of a leisurely. I'm not trying to knock Avery Johnson, not that he's a bad coach, but it just
He wasn't very good. He wasn't very good.
And they didn't have that ump about them either.
Well, and Anthony Grant was terrible.
Yeah.
We went through our fair share of terrible. And to be honest with you, basketball in this state for a long time until Bruce Pearl got here was terrible.
True.
Now I know Alabama had their their run and
clipped off. I don't think they've had a really good run in a long time.
But what I'm getting at is that nobody looked at the state of Alabama after December it was wait till spring football started. That's not the case anymore. Oates he's a good coach. He understood what he was coming into. He knows that Bruce Pearl's going to be Bruce Pearl, and he's going to continue to get players like this. He's just getting started, man. Let's just be honest about it. Bruce Pearl's really now just getting his feet under him. A year ago, we didn't have a single recruit. I want to remind everybody of that. We didn't have a single player. We missed an entire recruiting class, okay? So he's got seniors and he's got freshmen on this team with a junior sprinkled in there. So we don't have any sophomores on this team coming up. We all scratched our head. We all thought the ship was crashing. And we thought, man, he didn't go out and get anybody? Man, this thing must be bad. We know now why he didn't do it. It was part of the, I hate to use this term, process that he had to go through with NCAA. But Oates will either step up the game for Alabama or he'll get run over. So you have to do that kind of stuff. It's just like you said with Auburn football in Alabama. You either step your game up or you get tire tracks on your back. So I think Nate Oates understands what he's dealing with. He accepted the job. He's willing to take on the challenge, and it'll make everybody better. It'll make basketball fun in the state.
And that's a good thing. I think that it's just been so far on the peripheral for so long that that's bad.
Peripheral. It wasn't even, you couldn't even find any type of metal detector to go out there and find.
When was the last really good Alabama basketball team? 2005?
Probably.
They went to the 8
in
2005. That's a long time ago. Bro.
And the last time before Bruce Pearl for us was 2003.
Yeah.
So,
and I think Alabama sprinkled a couple of years where they went to the tournament, but they weren't very good basketball teams.
No.
Not anywhere near to that caliber.
Well, Florida proved you can have good sports all the way across the board.
Yeah.
You can be good in baseball. You can be good in softball. You can be good in football. Hey, you can actually have a basketball team too. Florida's winning national championships in football and basketball and building up their other programs and then win them in baseball.
We all gravitate to a winner too.
Everybody does. But there was no excuse for Auburn basketball to be as bad as it was for as long as it was. I mean, you and I have been in hour-long discussions on this show about playing the game. Once you try to start playing the game, somebody turns you in. They don't want you part of the blue blood, so to say, if you're not part of the blue bloods. But now that's changing in college basketball. Everybody's getting a shot now. And if you don't play the game, so be it. You're going to get tossed to the side. If you do play the game, you might get a little bit of a penalty, but that's what everybody else is doing too. And for you to be competitive, you got to do it that way. We'll take your some comments real quick. Justin said he likes following basketball recruiting on a Friday night. Thumbs up.
Well,
it's pretty fun.
You got something to follow. I'm starting to understand why these Kentuckys and Dukes of the world are as passionate as they are, because it is a year-round deal with recruiting.
There's no deal with football.
Did you ever watch it before now? We had nothing to watch.
Don't think I've ever looked at a basketball recruiting service until 2 years ago. That's just the honest truth. Who you going to look at, a 2-star? I mean, no offense, but I mean, that's what Auburn was getting, maybe a 3.
I want to go through this graphic that I saw on Twitter yesterday about the top 10 in the country.
Football.
How many 4- and 5-star recruits are currently on the rosters of the top 10 in the country, and see the differential and see the one program that's the outlier. So hard to get into that class doing what Wisconsin's doing, but we'll talk about that.
Man, they're an outlier. True outlier. Stay tuned. More of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio, or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
Listen up, America. Millions of Americans just like you owe the IRS more than $10,000 and are facing liens, bank levies, wage garnishments, penalty abatements, and other IRS enforcement actions. Newly authorized debt forgiveness programs allow you to settle your debts for less than ever before. Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? If so, then call Tax Savings Helpline now.
Please call 800-980-7190.
Strep throat is a dangerous disease. Strep throat is a common childhood illness that may not always affect only the throat. Go to pandasnetwork.org. That's PANDAS network.org. Seek medical strep testing if your child has abrupt onset of anxiety, uncontrollable outbursts or crying, sleep disorder, eating disorder, and tics. Remember, pandasnetwork.org. That's PANDAS network.org.
Sponsored by Pandas Network and this station.
Hondas are the best vehicles on the road, so why not get the state's best prices and incentives? Lynn Gannum and Freeway Honda deliver, and it's always worth the drive. Tell them, Lynn.
We have the best deals. We have statewide specials. That's right. Pick out your car choice, send us a message. We'll prepare the deal. We'll bring it to your residence. Do not worry. We are #1 with deliveries in the state of Alabama. We will handle the paperwork and everything.
Shop Freeway Honda, I-20 West in Birmingham, or freewayhondaal.com for the state's best prices on new Hondas.
J.A. Smith Construction, with 19 years experience, is your trusted choice for construction. Site clearing and grading for new home construction, basement excavation, concrete paving, storm drain installation, fish ponds, and slough dredging. No job is too big or too small. Call Alexander at J.A. Smith Construction at 334-531-0199 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. J.A. Smith Construction, your trusted choice for construction.
So, you may not know it, but you've seen our work everywhere. For a combined 50 years, SignSource has been Central Alabama's premier option for all your sign needs. Custom signs for your business, club, or organization. Wraps and decals for your vehicle or boat. Full-color banners for your big sale, or a photo collage on canvas for grandma. All with fast, friendly, prompt service. Check out our website at signsourcenow.com. 888-533-6758. Go straight to the source. SignSource.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. We'll shift over and talk about some Alabama basketball, too. Continue to talk about that. Then we're going to dive into college football. And then there's a stat, a list, basically, that you talked about yesterday on Twitter about the number of recruits. And look, it boils down to this in every sport. It doesn't matter if you're talking about girls softball, tennis, golf, football. You have got to have players, and I'm not just talking about players, elite players, if you're going to compete for a championship. You saw with Bruce Pearl last year, with a coaching style and just some average to above average players able to come together took 3 or 4 years, able to come together and put a product on the floor to take them to a Final Four. But that was a long process and an unbelievable process. But if you get 5 stars and 4 stars and you stack them up like Alabama's done in football, and you start doing what Bruce Pearl's doing, now your odds of going back every year greatly increase.
Well, it's a compounding effect.
It is.
And that's the beauty of especially football when you look down at those. And I'll go over to that tweet that was really eye-opening yesterday. But when the facility upgrades are continuous, when the training's continuous, when you got the best coach, and when you can add all of that in with getting the best players in a culture that works, the compounding really starts happening at that point. It makes it more impressive with the programs out there that just build an identity and build a culture that people embrace. They may not be the top tier, but they understand the culture. And Wisconsin's got that going for them in football. Year in and year out, you don't want to play Wisconsin. They're going to have the best offensive line. This is just stereotypical. They're going to have the best offensive line you're going to play every year. They're going to have a great running back that runs downhill. They're going to have a quarterback that just tries not to screw it up for them.
That's right.
And they're going to have a defense that's in spots, but they're not going to have top-tier guys. And I'll go ahead and run down that tweet yesterday because it was eye-opening. And Alabama's the number one by far. The most 4 and 5 stars on the roster. Alabama's currently got 69 4 and 5 stars on their roster. Out of the top 10, which I think Wisconsin's ranked number 8 right now.
7 or 8, yeah.
They've got 9. Let that sink in. Alabama's got 69. Wisconsin's got 9. They are the only team in the top 10 to have less than 38.
And that's how far away. And I want to say one thing about what you bring that up so you can read off the teams on the top 10 and what their recruits are. Randy, what you just described was somebody in high school.
Yeah.
Let's understand who we are. Wisconsin football, we're not going to be able to go out there and stockpile 4 and 5 star guys. We're going to be able to get some in some key positions. But what we need to do is have a dadgum good offensive line.
Yeah.
We need to have a physical nature about us that when anybody steps on the field, they don't really want to play us. They know what they're going to get for 4 quarters. Now, we may not win all of our games, but you're going to be in a battle for 4 quarters. And we're going to play defense. And we're going to utilize our system. And we're going to embrace a physical nature. I think that's what you do in high school football a lot. You go, I might not have as much talent over here as, say, this other school that I got to play, but I'm not going to wither away and just roll over and take a whipping. We're going to do what we do best. It may not work on this particular night, but if you're not up to the challenge across the way, you're going to be in for a long night. And I think that's the way Wisconsin approaches it.
Well, the way a lot of small schools here in this state play that way.
It is.
They end up with either a wishbone or wing tee or a system like that they can build on, the kids kind of embrace. It's a system that they stick to for a long period of time. So you grow up and you're in the 7th grade and you run this system and you're playing quarterback or you're playing offensive line, offensive guard. Those positions probably more important than the skill positions because of blocking schemes and stuff. You just get used to it and you embrace it. And I think that it's impressive. Here are the 4 and 5 star recruits that are on each roster for the top 10 in the country. Clemson, number 1 team in the country. They've got 40 4 and 5 stars on their roster. Alabama actually was 68. I was a little bit off. I was 1 off there, but Alabama with 68. They're number 2.
There.
Georgia with 60. That's the second most in the top 10. LSU with 51. Ohio State with 59. Oklahoma with 49. Auburn with 46. Wisconsin with 9. Florida with 39. And Notre Dame with 47.
Such a glaring outlier.
The second closest to them's got 30 more.
I mean, a glaring outlier. Not just, they just don't belong there. I mean, you look at all those other teams and you go, okay, I can see why you're up here. You got the horses. I mean, you look over in Wisconsin stable and you like, man, you got Shetland ponies running around over here. But they take those Shetland ponies and they're doing a lot with them. I knew last week, and I told you, now I missed the Florida-Tennessee game, and Lord, I'll never make the mistake of thinking Tennessee will go anywhere to challenge anybody, so that's done. But I had a feeling that Michigan was smoking mirrors at 11. Well, they were. They got smoked. They were down 35-0 to Wisconsin at Camp Randall. And Wisconsin just backed off. They just said, look, this is enough. Jim Harbaugh's a joke. They're not on the – I don't know how many 4 and 5 stars they've got. Probably a good bit because he has recruited pretty well. But you talking about somebody not getting it done. Wisconsin took their 9 4 and 5 stars and laid the wood to Michigan. And it's about a system. It's about embracing what they do and understanding their identity. Wisconsin hasn't changed over 3 or 4 coaches, haven't changed what they do. They're physical. Like you said, you described them to a T. Big offensive line, going to get after you for 4 quarters. Sometimes you are who you are.
And some of the best running backs the country produces.
And then that helps.
And that's what they go get. And the running back wants to go and run behind a line like that.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a pretty good sell. It's a pretty easy sell to get somebody to go there because you know you're going to get the ball.
Ron Dane, Melvin Gordon.
Keep going down the list.
I mean, I can
year
just
in and year out. They have
every single
right
year.
Now they've got, I'd call them a top 3 in the Heisman.
Yeah.
Right outside of Jalen Hurts and Tua. Very next one, running back there at Wisconsin, who goes for over 200 last week against Michigan.
There's no chance a running back wins a Heisman Trophy in this day and age anymore with the type of quarterback play we're seeing right now. It may rotate back around eventually, but the quarterback play we got going on in this country right now.
It's just the systems. The systems are impressive.
I mean, they're just putting up, like you say, PlayStation type numbers. And Jalen Hurts moves over after winning championships and competing every year at Alabama. Now he just goes over to Oklahoma and has positioned himself to do it again.
I know we're up against the break, but I wanted to throw this out there before we went to break. When you look down and you've got SEC Saturday, and there's a 35.5-point spread between Alabama and Ole Miss, 35.5.
And I'd take it. I'll take it.
I know you will. That's we talked about it about a month ago. We're getting to a point where this thing's getting so far away from a competitive nature for the most part outside of about 10 to 15 teams here in the country that 35.5, bro.
And we're lucky that both our teams in this state are in that top 15.
Yeah, I agree.
And so when we come back, we'll talk about that because it's a problem. Stay tuned. More of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is built to a higher standard, so you can focus on the problems in your life that actually matter. Like figuring out which remote turns the TV on, or the smell in the vegetable crisper that in no way can be vegetables, or finding your phone when you leave it on vibrate. Whatever you're worrying about, it won't be this. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built to a higher standard.
Lake Martin Heating and Air Conditioning, 256-307-4137.
Hello, my name is Dave Milton with Southeastern Land Group. I'd like to tell you a little bit about our company. We sell farmland and timberland in Alabama and the surrounding states. Not only do we have a land sales division, but we also have a timber sales division where we can help you with your timber sales and your timber appraisals. There's 22 of us in our group scattered throughout the southeastern United States. We are a full-service land and timber sales company. We do with farmland, timberland, cattle property, poultry farms. 866-751-LAND. Go to the website, selandgroup.com.
Boaters in the Lake Martin area know whether you need service, maintenance, repairs, a great selection of pre-owned boats, or a brand new pontoon. Alex City Marine at the corner of 63 and 280 is there for you. Thanks to a record-setting sales year, Alex City Marine now has one of the finest pre-owned inventories they've ever had. Repairs, service, routine maintenance, for all your boating needs. See the pros the locals know. Alex City Marine at the corner of 63 and 280. Check them out online at alexcitymarine.com. You already know the power and reliability of a Mahindra tractor. Get ready to meet their ATV and UTV lines. Haul more and tow more. Do more. Reaching speeds up to 60 miles an hour. Models have a 12-inch ground clearance and the ability to haul up to 1,200 pounds. There's a Mahindra utility vehicle and a model specifically to get the job done. Test drive today at Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor. Serving Tallapoosa, Coosa, Clay, and Talladega counties. 256-392-3613.
Hi, I'm Kurt Bowman, General Manager of Vaden Toyota. We'd like to announce our new lifetime warranty on any new Toyota.
Hashtag lifetime warranty.
Hashtag we love our customers.
It can be used nationwide at no additional cost. Hashtag customer service. So come on by and let us show you
the Vaden way.
Hashtag maintenance matters.
Hashtag totally awesome.
Vaden Toyota of Sylacauga, just a short drive from home or online.
Hashtag your neighborhood dealership.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. 45 minutes left in today's show, and talking about some football, college football in the SEC. We'll shift over now and talk about that. The bottom 3 quarters of this conference is terrible. I mean, Gary Harris and I talked about it on his show yesterday. He said, I know this. He said, I think it's to the point now you just need to worry about your own team. He said, all this junk about SEC and, you know, playing against other conferences. He said, look, he said, Missouri went on the road and got beat by Wyoming. Arkansas got beat by San Jose State. I mean, we need to quit going out there saying top to bottom, we're just going to line up and the mighty SEC's coming after you. We're laying eggs all over the country, and the bottom part of this conference is as bad, and both me and Gary agree, as we've ever seen it. I mean, Kentucky's horrible. And I know they lost their quarterback, and that hurts. And I know Stoops has done a good job of even getting them up there, even in a conversation, but they don't have enough to get it done. You just mentioned a 35-point spread with Ole Miss. Does anybody believe Matt Luke's the answer at Ole Miss? We knew they weren't, but they got in such a mess with Hugh Freeze, with NCAA, rightfully or wrongfully. They gave them some stiff penalties.
Is he out of the hospital bed yet?
I hadn't seen anything.
I haven't seen anything else on it either.
He was going to a dental chair, but I don't know if they ever shipped that one down there to when they were going to Louisiana to play. We need to look that up. Maybe somebody knows out there can comment. That's a whole nother parody in itself. But South Carolina, there's some programs paying good money for good coaches, supposedly good coaches. Tennessee, Gary asked me a question yesterday.
Tell him who Gary is.
I did.
Okay.
I said Gary Harris. He said that
you enjoyed doing that.
Well, I mean, it's a good batting forth. He's got a great show. I mean, he has some big names. Not me on the show. Somehow I got filtered in to do the Auburn part, which is good for us because we get to give ourselves a little plug out there. But the level of play and what you get out of some of these teams is not equaling the salaries. But like you talk about all the time, that's where the market is. That's what teams are having to pay. But there's just not as many good coaches out there to get that money. So some of these guys are below average, and they're getting paid well. Jeremy Pruitt goes to Tennessee. They have not gotten any better. If anything, they've gotten worse. And their recruiting, we pulled it up, is not going in the right direction either.
Well, they can't even keep the ones they currently have.
And they lost 3 this week.
Yeah.
So he asked me, who do I think's got a chance? He said it's this bad, in his opinion, to lose their job before the end of the season, not after December, before the season's over. And I kind of went down the line and surveyed it, and Will Muschamp's buyout, you said, is like $16 million.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to keep him at least one more year. And because of Clemson and the situation, and who wants to go over there right now and play that. So that's not an attractive job to a solid football coach. So when you go and siphon through all the crap down at the bottom, Tennessee's the program, I think, they look at Jeremy Pruitt and go, this thing's going south. You don't seem to have control of the team. We brought you in to bring order. It's not looking that way. I think he's got the best shot at losing because I think they're going to have a lot more losses, and I think there's going to be a lot more ugly losses built in there before. They still got to play Alabama, Randy.
Oh, Alabama will have to. And they, unfortunately for Tennessee, we've had our moments against Alabama where you go,
yeah, but this is on another level.
Tennessee, though, is 2 out of every three years they're giving up 50-plus points
it's
to Alabama and getting run out of the gym against what's supposed their longtime rival. And they haven't beat them since when? When's the last time Tennessee beat Alabama? I'd like to know that one.
I don't think they beat them 15 straight years.
Is it that many?
It's close to that, 14 or 15. My son's 15 years old. I don't think he's witnessed Tennessee. He has no idea. Tennessee's so bad and their program's going away so fast that you got generational gaps now that don't even know that Alabama and Tennessee used to be a heated rival. They don't know anything about the third Saturday in October. They go, what? What do you mean?
Good point.
That's how bad their programs got. Did you ever think you would see Tennessee's program get to this?
I never thought I'd see Tennessee get to a point where they'd play a Florida team that I don't think's championship caliber and get annihilated.
It was annihilation.
And if they win 1 or 2 more games, it'll be a shock. And when you see players, good recruits that they've had over the years decide that they're not going to hang around the program, you can start knocking the players to a point. But after a while, you jump ship and say, this is not going to work out real well for me. And you've got those 4 games. You've got all of that still sitting out there, and you're dealing with that as well. And if you're going to transfer, maybe wanting to hold on to that year, I don't know that he'll make it because Alabama will have to. Alabama at this point, what do you think the line will be in that football game?
The line in Alabama, Tennessee, it may be off the board. I'm not being funny. It may not have a line on that one because it'd probably be 50, I think. And I think once you get up in that I'm not being funny. I mean, I think it'll be around 50. And when you get that high, then Vegas just decides, we ain't putting nothing on. So that's where that game is going. I want to read this off to you. I want you to tell me who you think they're going to beat. They're 1-3 right now, okay, with a double overtime win, actually a 45-0 win over Chattanooga. They ought to be proud. Cross-state rival, Chattanooga. Not Vanderbilt, Chattanooga, because get this, Vanderbilt's beat them 3 years in a row now. Let that sink in. They just lost to Florida 34-3, could have been worse. Guess who they play next week? Georgia. Anybody, what's the line on that one? Since you're talking about Alabama.
What would I guess?
I can tell you
35.
I was going to say 39. So we're in the same ballpark. Loss, 1-4. Then they get Mississippi State rolling into town.
They can't beat Mississippi State.
That line will be Mississippi State
10.
On the road. That's about what I was going to say.
Yeah.
10. Then they've got the fortunate privilege of traveling to Tuscaloosa the week after. 50 are off the board. This may be the battle of who gives a S. Okay? On October 26th, I don't know who Auburn and Alabama play on that day, but if you're a Tennessee fan or a South Carolina fan, South Carolina's looking at it as a win. But man, both of those programs right now at 1-3. What's the line on that game? South Carolina, Tennessee.
If South Carolina lost that football game,
Will Muschamp would lose his job.
He'd get fired then.
I think he'd get fired after the game.
Yeah, I agree.
He got to go to Tennessee. They ain't great.
No, they're not.
They ain't great.
No.
So, I don't know. That might be a push. Seriously. That's terrible. South Carolina will be favored by
10.
4-5, I think.
You think they're that bad?
Terrible. Terrible. Here's one they better watch. It's not a joke. Here's where Jeremy Pruitt could lose his job.
Oh, he could lose it before then.
No. Here's where Jeremy Pruitt will lose his job if he loses this game. On November 2nd, they play UAB.
Oh, UAB can beat them.
They've already done it, hadn't they? Didn't they beat them before?
Oh, UAB can beat them right now for sure.
3-0.
They're worth talking about, by the way.
I know, they're 3-0. Tennessee's 1-3. If you're a recruit out there right now, what program are you going to? I know we got to get the break. Tennessee calls or UAB calls? Who are you going to?
If I live here in the state of Alabama,
there's no question.
Bill Clark is If they hold on to that guy, he's only getting started.
We got to go to break. When we come back, we'll finish this down. Ooh, I don't see another win, maybe, for Tennessee. That's a problem. Stay tuned. More of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
Scotty Fortenberry is Dadeville and the Lake Martin area's full-service Alpha agent. His office on Broadneck Street offers comprehensive life, home, auto, and boat insurance at Alpha's competitive rates. Scotty and Alpha Insurance are Alabama's #1 life insurance company for a reason. You'll always get the personal attention you and your family need. Scotty also has your commercial needs covered, so whether it's just a quote or full insurance evaluation, call Alpha agent Scotty Fortenberry at 256-825-9211.
Harbor Point Ship Store has everything to make your day on the lake more enjoyable. Come on out to the biggest marina on the water. They have pizza, hot dogs, burgers, and more. Get your gas, groceries, snacks, ice, and everything you need for a fun day on the lake. Are you in the market for a new or pre-owned boat? Harbor Point has the best selection around of everyone's favorite Crest pontoons and Four Winds boats. Harbor Point also has a great selection of pre-owned boats. Come on out and take a look at Harbor Point, Marina Point Road in Dadeville. Get to the point.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Did your team just win the big game? Are you looking for a unique way to honor a valuable employee? Lila's Engraving has you covered, offering a large selection of custom trophies and plaques. Lila's also offers cast aluminum car tags, custom engraved wine glasses, clocks, and wood cutting boards. They even offer custom framing for any art or picture as well. Lila's combines the best quality items with the fastest service around. With over 27 years of experience in the Alexander City and Lake Martin areas, Lila's Engraving is your only choice for custom awards and engraved gifts. Always remember, winners choose Lila's.
Guys, it's back! Inline skating.
Rock and roll hair?
Calling this thing a pound sign instead of a hashtag? No, the sensation is back at Zaxby's.
The Zensation Salad is back, and introducing the new Zensation Filet Sandwich Meal with hand-breaded chicken, Asian slaw, wonton strips, and citrus vinaigrette, both served with an egg roll. The Zensation Salad and Filet Sandwich Meal, only at Zaxby's.
The door is open, the beer's cold, and the biscuits are hot at Foshee Sportz on Dadeville Road in Alexander City. Fishing season is in year-round and live bait is available. Non-ethanol gas is available along with propane and pellet ice. So come on by and see what we're all about, where the kitchen is open Monday through Friday early at Foshee Sportz on Dadeville Road in Alexander City. And tell them old Katie sent you right here from the front porch, WAXC TV.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. 30 more minutes left in today's show. Let me get done with this putrid excuse for a football team, Tennessee. They don't have another win left on their schedule. If you look at their schedule, they've got Georgia next week, Mississippi State, Alabama, South Carolina, and UAB ain't winning any of those. I'm going to tell you, UAB's going to beat them because they're a better program. They're better coached. They got better players, I think, right now. That's not a joke. Then they end the season with Kentucky, Missouri, and Vanderbilt. The only shot I think they got at a win is Vanderbilt. And Vanderbilt's beat them 3 years in a row. So who's willing to say Tennessee's going to chalk that one up in the win column?
Especially after they've been annihilated about 3 out of those final games there.
So the answer to the question of who might lose their job before the end of the season, Jeremy Pruitt may not be on the sideline for that Vanderbilt game. Depends on how much patience Philip Fulmer and that staff has, or that fan base have up there. But I'm telling you right now, they're going in the wrong direction. And if they win one ball game this year and go 1-11, who in the world, you think their recruiting's bad now? Whatever they got on that's committed is going to be jumping ship like rats on a sinking ship. This is a very, very bad football program, and I don't know. I would say Arkansas is a little bit ahead of them. It's not Arkansas's fault. They don't have an excuse at Tennessee. Arkansas is in a bad situation where they are geographically. They have to have the right situation come around for them to be competitive. I think Chad Morris is a good coach. But this Tennessee program, man, 1-11 is what I see, and I'm not trying to be funny. I don't see them winning another football game, and I see a bunch of 50s and 60-point losses for them to the Georgias, the Alabamas, those type of teams they got left on the schedule.
I can't say enough positive words about how impressive Bill Clark is at UAB. And I look down at the scores this past Saturday, and I know South Alabama goes up to Nebraska, plays them pretty well.
They do.
Plays them really well on the lines of scrimmage. And UAB annihilated South Alabama. And to watch what Bill Clark has done since that program came out of the death penalty that the Board of Trustees threw on them.
Literally self-imposed death penalty.
It's a storyline that I don't think we can tell well enough to give it justice. And so I bring all of that up, and I hope UAB holds on to Bill Clark because I think the storyline could just get better and better. I don't know that it'll get to the point of what Bruce Pearl has done at Auburn, but it still feels like UAB's not all there yet. You know, they from the death penalty, they lost, 30 seniors last year?
They did.
Where they had to have that many just to have enough on the roster
That's right.
to compete and to keep winning the way that they are. I do feel like that they had a great year last year, but there may be even better ones to come.
He's just a good coach. Look, we say this
Tennessee
all the time.
could do
a lot worse.
Million times worse.
Well,
or Auburn or anyone that ever got in that position could do 1,000,000 times worse than going after Bill Clark as head coach.
That's going to be my next question to you. We're going to be talking about this. Tennessee, who they go get? I think they took a chance on Jeremy Pruitt, didn't work. You got a Mike Leach out there that is interested in coming to the SEC. Now, I know he laid an egg Saturday.
Well, he did, yeah.
You're going to get that with him. Les Miles, Kansas. I mean, Tennessee can do a lot worse than Les Miles, too. I mean, I know that his style of football kind of passed him by at LSU, but he was a winner down there, and he won for a long time. Tennessee, I think, would bend over backwards to get a Les Miles right now. If they wanted to go the young coach route again, a guy that's been at a program building up, Bill Clark would be perfect. I think he'd answer the call. I think he'd actually go up there and get something done because he's got a proven track record of being able to go and win wherever he goes.
If you think that the buzz around Bill Clark is strong right now, you let them win 10 more football games this year.
Well, they're on their way, man.
I know they are.
I mean, this is not.
Last Saturday is unbelievably impressive. When you play a South Alabama program that's been better than you historically.
Oh, yeah.
And you beat them the way that they did, coming off a season where you lost so much and you have so many things negatively going against you because you lose so many seniors, and to still be undefeated and playing the way that UAB is right now, Brett, impressive. And if they beat Tennessee, and look, Tyler Johnston could beat Tennessee's brains in. They're going to
he's
score.
that kind of quarterback.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, let's look at UAB's schedule. All right, they're 3-0. They just beat South Alabama 35-3. They play Western Kentucky's 1-2. That's a win. They play Rice 0-4, win. They play University of Texas San Antonio. That's a win. Old Dominion. They don't play another team on their schedule that's got a winning record. 1-3, 1-2, 1-3, 0-4. Southern Miss is 2-2.
That'd be a very good football game.
I think they'll beat them.
Yeah.
UTEP 1-2. La Tex 3-1. That'll be a challenge. And then North Texas 2-2. Who else? Who are they going to lose to? They might lose to La Tech, and they might lose to Southern Miss. But do you see more than 2 losses left on that schedule?
No, I don't.
All right, so at worst, they're 10-2.
The buzz around this guy.
They go undefeated. If they go undefeated, man.
And I don't think you can say enough about the way he handled the overall situation too. Not impressive from a leadership role that guy's been in the city
You know
of
how?
Birmingham.
Hey, no doubt.
Really, Brett. And instead you go out and you hire Jeremy Pruitt, which, you know, I didn't think that was a bad hire. I like Jeremy Pruitt. I liked his pedigree.
Florida
But you go out
State
and, you hire,
and Georgia
but you
and
hire
Alabama.
a guy that has shown he hasn't even taken a smaller school like UAB to success as a head football coach.
No.
You know, I mean, what is the willingness to go out there and jump in like Alabama's done in basketball? You go out and you hire someone that's a proven commodity at a smaller school, and you see if his program or his process can work at a larger one.
Yeah.
Do you like that better than you like going after a top-tier coordinator that's never been a head coach?
I think there's a couple different routes. They both work.
Kirby Smart's working right now.
Sometimes they don't work. It's just a chance. Up against another break, we got a lot of comments coming in. I'll get to those. Something was wrong with my phone, so I wasn't seeing any of those comments. So I'll get to those when we come back. Stay tuned. More of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
Your comfort is our number one concern. Advanced heat and air.
With the hot summer season just around the corner, it's time to decide if your current air conditioning system will keep you cool this year. Call Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning for a free estimate on a brand new energy-efficient Trane heat pump system for your home or business. Your comfort is our number one concern. Call Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning at 256-234-5052.
LMG Advertising Agency offers a comprehensive marketing solution tailored to each of our clients' needs. We are a full-service marketing firm offering website design and development, video production, social media marketing, search engine optimization, and overall branding that includes logo design, brochures, mailouts, and more. Our experienced team of marketing professionals would love to come up with a marketing strategy that will deliver results for you and your business. Learn more at lmgadagency.com or call today to start at 256-825-0197.
Don't miss Atlanta's hottest music event of the year, ATL Live at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Sunday, November 17th, featuring Eric Church, Luke Combs, Brothers Osborne, and Kaylee Hammond. Tickets at Ticketmaster.com.
Grab a 5-quart jug of Napa conventional motor oil for only $12.99 for a limited time at Napa Auto Parts.
Life is a sequence of little successes. The story of my Southern Union success began the day I walked on campus, making new friends, mastering a new skill, reaching a personal goal, the encore performance, the first date, the internship, and now, soon, the dream job. That's the story of my Southern Union success. Register for classes and get ready to watch your Southern Union story come to life.
The Prestige Selection at Gill's Auto Sales in Opelika has the largest selection of prestige cars, trucks, and SUVs in Central and East Alabama, all with financing available, little to no money down, and extended warranties. Get pre-qualified in under 2 minutes, online or from your mobile device at GillsPrestigeOnline.com. It's the Prestige Selection at Gill's Auto Sales, 1430 Gateway Drive in Opelika.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. We'll run through some of these comments you guys have had. Again, sorry about a little bit of a technical thing on my Facebook feed. Patrick said back when NCAA is a joke. The selective enforcement is what is going to be the end of the NCAA, and I totally agree. I think in 5 to 10 years there won't be an NCAA as we know it. Justin said Alabama's got talent in basketball. No doubt they've got talent, and I think they'll get more with Nate Oates and what they're able to do. Shane said only bad thing about getting the best recruits in basketball is usually they're only there for 1 year. That's true, but you know what? I'd rather go out there and go after the best recruits in basketball and get them for 1 year than not be in the mix on any of those guys. Patrick said it's a 37.5-point spread for Georgia over Tennessee. Auburn will play LSU on October 26th, so we're going back to that Tennessee schedule when South Carolina and Tennessee play. I don't think anybody will be paying attention to that Tennessee. South Carolina game, Pruitt is a worse version of Muschamp, Patrick said. I agree. G comes back and said no coach can be successful anymore over there in Tennessee. Just his opinion. Patrick comes back and says Neil Brown would be a better fit in Tennessee. Neil Brown's at West Virginia right now. He left there from Troy to go up there. G thinks Western Kentucky will challenge UAB today. And Patrick said UAB could have easily lost Alabama State, and Alabama State played them well in that game. But nevertheless, UAB's 3-0.
Yeah, 3-0 after a big victory over South Alabama where they ran them off the field. So that's the most impressive win so far of the season for them. And still, I thought they'd have a drastic step back this year. That hasn't happened. And they're about to
why did you think they were going to take a big step back?
Lost too many seniors.
Yeah, lost all that.
I mean,
you
self-impose yourself into a death penalty.
Yeah.
And you have to just top heavy that senior class to make sure that you've got enough players
just
out
numbers.
there to be competitive. And you lose that many, man, that's hard to come back from for any program. But they've kind of found their way. And offensively, they seem to be getting better and better as the year goes on. So we'll see. Brett, not a lot of good football games today.
No, but Auburn, Mississippi State's going to be a good one, I think.
I agree. And Auburn, I felt much better after this past Saturday where we stand. Defensively was so strong against the run. They did throw the football a little bit, but a lot of that was in mop-up duty there at the end of the football game where Auburn had the game in hand. But I can't say enough about how good of a job currently the two-quarterback system's working for Auburn. And, you know, my hopes are that you'll see a little bit more of that because I think you are taking a top-tier talent away and not giving him an opportunity to help your team if you don't give Joey Gatewood 10 to 12 plays per game. In critical situations.
Well, he's just too good of an athlete to be sitting over there. Schrader will probably get the start for Mississippi State today. He poses a similar threat to Nick Fitzgerald last year who, look, man, I don't know what happened in Starkville last year. They only beat us 23-9. We had Nick Fitzgerald had a phantom touchdown score at the end of the first half. We had one taken away, Boobie Whitlow. They said he had fumbled out of the end zone. It looked like he had crossed the plane. Had that one taken away, and Jarrett Stidham overthrew Darius Slayton. That's 3 touchdowns right there, and they still only won by 2. We blocked a punt late when they were only up 1 score. We still had a chance. We just couldn't get anything going. We're just out of sync. Fitzgerald, they couldn't do anything offensively other than him running the ball. I don't see that happening today in Auburn. This team has the feel of one of those 10, 13, or 17 teams for Auburn. They've still got a lot of football left to play to see how it ends up. But our defense right now is playing outstanding against any team that runs the football. So I think they're going to force Schrader to throw. It's his first time to be on the road in an environment like this. I think it'll be too much.
Yeah, I mean, I like the matchup.
I do too.
A lot. And if you don't win a game like this against a quarterback that's really a newcomer on the scene,
you're not a contender.
You're not a contender. And some of the games down the stretch are just not going to go your way at all. And I agree. I just think it's a perfect setup. If they have to beat us throwing the football, I'd like to see him do it.
I like our chances.
But Auburn ran the football extremely well this past Saturday, almost 200 yards rushing. The goal Andy had was 175 plus, so meeting that. Whitlow not having to run the football quite as much in the first half.
That's a good thing.
I like Cadillac's rotation at running back. I thought that was a positive, and I hope that we have that again this week because I'd like to see Harold Joyner a little bit more. When he's out there just off the hoof, he really looks like a player.
He's a good football player, and I think Auburn's got a lot of players they need to get the football to. Sportz obviously needs to continue to get more touches, whether it's a pass or a speed sweep type deal. Auburn right now 62 in the country on offense. Mississippi State 71st. So both can pick their offensive numbers up. Defensively, Auburn's a top 35 defense. They are number 35. 6th in the conference defensively for Mississippi State, losing guys like Montez Sweat and some of those guys that they lost off that team last year. They're not the team they were. So they give up some yards. They give up some points. I think, and I said it yesterday on Auburn Blitz, this should be a coming out party for Bo Nix. Bo Nix's numbers have been average to below average to this point. He did what he had to do on the road against Texas A&M. This is not a knock on him at all. But 12 of 20 for 100 yards is not going to win many football games in the SEC. We got to have more production out of the quarterback, along with the running game. I think our offensive line's playing better. But I could see Bo Nix, and I think I predicted it with the over-under. I think he's going to throw for 250-plus yards tonight. I think that's the kind of game it's setting up to be. I think he can have 2 or 3 touchdowns in the air. Now, he missed a few last week. Texas A&M, if he hits a couple of those, Auburn's winning by 4 scores. So I think the potential's there. He's got to dial it in. But what's your feel on Bo Nix tonight?
It's the same as yours. I want to buy in, but I'm buying into a product that, when I look at the stat total, it's mediocre. But I also see some plays that are plays at critical times in the game that he seems to make. And he seems to have a proficiency of doing that.
He's a gamer.
And if he can continue that and keep getting better, because the skill set is definitely there. But I'm not going to veer away from the want to see more of Joey Gatewood. I'm not going to veer away from that, because when he's out on the field, he's the most physical back that we have. I think that would help in short yardage situations. I think it opens up big play potential, because we have yet to see him throw the football down the field. We know he can.
Yeah.
And if he does, when they're not expecting it, it could be a big play in a game that it's at a needed time.
Mm-hmm.
Last week, we've only seen him throw the football twice. Last week was a perfect play call in a situation where you thought he'd run the football.
Mm-hmm.
So adds so much of the dynamic that I think
player.
that we need. And if he doesn't get 10 to 12 plays at critical points in the game, I don't think we're taking advantage of a talent that's there.
We're not.
And I still want to see a little bit more of him. I'm not knocking Bo Nix, but Joey Gatewood has a little something special.
We may see him a little bit more tonight.
I would like to.
Yeah. Mark Knight, real quick before we go to our next break, how wrong were we all about Fuente at Virginia Tech? Good Lord. They got their doors blown off by Duke. Patrick said Auburn is recruiting another quarterback in case Gatewood transfers, and I think you have to prepare yourself for that. Up against our final break of the show, stay tuned. Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
Hey, it's Steve from the Car Stereo Shop in Auburn, and after 10 years of serving the good people of East Alabama and West Georgia, we're still doing business the same way, offering the best products at the best prices with the area's best warranties and installing them with the area's best technicians. With great customer service, a knowledgeable sales staff, and our commitment to customer satisfaction, along with the best selection of the latest technology in the industry, there's no reason to shop anywhere else. Shop with confidence. Shop at the Car Stereo Shop in Auburn.
If you're seeing the American cockroach, throw up the red flag. Ladybugs, throw up the red flag. Ants and swarming termites, throw up the red flag. And kudzu bugs, throw up the red flag. That's Red Flag Pest Control. So the caution is on. Call Red Flag Pest Control today.
I'm Scott Davis with Red Flag Pest Control. Call me today, 256-825-0430.
Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Hey, you mind if I borrowed this for a sec? I just gotta look something up.
Sure.
Conjunctivitis. That's what I got. You know, pink eye, I just couldn't think of the real name for it. Thanks, man.
When you want quick quality care, come to Russell Medical Urgent Care. We're open 7 days a week and conveniently located behind the Cancer Center on the hospital campus. Russell Medical Urgent Care. When it's not an emergency, but it's urgent.
Skag, the toughest name in lawnmowers. Unmatched quality and performance for over 3 decades. The clear choice, the best mower money can buy for work or at home. Top lawn care professionals and discerning homeowners know that Skag means productivity and reliability. Every Skag mower is proudly built right here in the USA. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best. Skag.
Satterfield Outdoor Living on Highway 280 in Alex City.
Finding a job might be tough, but starting your new career has never been easier. Wellborn Cabinet in Ashland has a wide array of career opportunities with benefits. General labor production, skilled cabinet builders, product assembly line, shipping, over-the-road truck drivers, clerical, marketing, security, daycare, office clerks, and so much more. Apply in person, 38669 Highway 77 South in Ashland, or online at wellborn.com. Building cabinets, building careers, and building our community.
Final segment of the show, we like to give you a rundown of who's on today, who can you watch, and we'll start at the top with Notre Dame welcoming in Virginia. Virginia up 4-0 on the season, number 18, going to Notre Dame. Notre Dame coming off a emotional loss to Georgia. Can they rebound? They're a 12-point favorite in this game.
We'll see. You know, this is a tough matchup, and this has been one over the years that Notre Dame struggled with.
Yeah.
Coming off of a game where it was a good loss for them.
If there's such a thing.
Well,
yeah.
they passed the eye test on
did.
the road. If they can go through the rest of the season, not lose again, they'll be in there. And but this is a game against a 4-0 team that kind of has their spirits on high that you could watch out for. So that's a good game today.
It is. Another top 25 matchup, USC, the Southern Cal, not the South Carolina, taking on Washington in Washington. Washington number 17. Both these teams 3-1. It's a 9.5-point spread for Washington.
It's a watch out for USC and their coaching.
Yeah, what's going on there? Clay Helton?
They're kind of riding a little bit of a roller coaster, and can they beat a Washington team that feels like they're a little down from last year? To me,
they are a little bit.
I think so too.
No, they took a step back, but they're still a pretty good football team.
Good team. So that's one that we picked this week, and I don't know which way I kind of lean with that one. So another good game.
Come down to Stanford. Stanford 1-3, but they're a 4-point favorite at Oregon State. We won't spend much time on that. Let's get in the SEC. Kentucky at South Carolina. Will Muschamp, this got to be a must-win for him tonight, 6:30.
How many games do they let him get away with losing this year before they get rid of him?
I just think they keep him this year because
you think so?
$16 million buyout, and they got Clemson across the state, and I just don't know who they think they can get. May be wrong. They may have enough, depending on how bad it gets. Do you think Kentucky wins this game or South Carolina at home?
I'd pick Kentucky if I had to pick it.
It's only, let's see, I don't see the spread. The spread's not on here, so I'd have to get somebody to run that one up. Let's see if ESPN's got it real quick. Spread is 3 for South Carolina, so you get 3 for home field. It's basically a push. Ole Miss at Alabama. We'll go ahead and get the Ole Miss in Alabama.
35.5-point spread here, at least that. Ole Miss, no way their coach holds on.
It's up to 30. It's up to 37 now.
And just can't say enough about this Alabama offense. It's almost, if I were in that receiving corps, I'd be trying to figure out how am I going to get the amount of touches that I deserve, because they got 2 guys that are potential Biletnikoff winners. You've already got one in Jerry Jeudy that has already won one, but I don't know that he's much better than Henry Ruggs. That guy right there is an athlete among athletes, and when the ball gets in his hands to start the football game, you're like, I wonder which record he's about to break for Alabama today. and running for a touchdown. One of the best athletes this state's produced over the last couple of
Oh,
decades.
there's no doubt. I'd take the 37.5. I'll be honest with you. It's kind of crazy to say. Vanderbilt welcomes in Northern Illinois. Towson takes on Florida. Florida basically with an off week before that game next week with Auburn in the Swamp. Texas A&M and Arkansas, for some reason this game always goes to overtime. It's a 23.5 point spread for A&M today.
Poor Arkansas.
They're terrible.
They are.
Nick Starkel.
But Jimbo
shoulder
Fisher,
pads.
there's a storyline.
Yeah.
You think that guy gets them over the hump?
2-2.
I don't know. I don't
Looks
see
mediocre to me.
They do.
Real quick, Auburn, Mississippi State, your pick.
I like this team. I want more Gatewood. I may be an out.
No, you're not an outlier. You're
but
not.
I would like to see him play more in this football game to see how Auburn matches up, because I don't think they'll be able to run the football. And that any team that has to throw it against Auburn
struggle
and needs to run it is going to struggle.
They are. They are.
I think so. And so it's going to take an Alabama, a Georgia with Fromm. Those teams are the best matchup for Auburn this year.
No doubt about it. That's going to wrap it up here for another edition of Saturday Sports Countdown. We'll be back with you on Monday for the Auburn Blitz from noon to 1. Make sure you tune us in throughout the week. For Randy Lee, I'm Brett Pritchard saying we enjoyed it. We hope you did. See you next week.